أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Respected believers, briefly allow me to look at some of the personalities of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam, this great figure, the Prophet of Islam, the seal of all the 124,000 prophets. What are some of the good personalities of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam? He's known, you understand, even the people of Jahiliyyah period knew him as Sadiq al-Amin, the trustworthy. You understand? Therefore, believers, here there is a lesson for us. There is a lesson for us to have trust. You understand? This is the same thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Quran chapter 9 verse number 119, that ya ayyuhalladhina amanu taqullaha wa kunu ma'as sadiqin. O believers, you understand? Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and be with those people. You understand? And be with the trustworthy. Allah is commanding us here. You understand, brothers? And if we are to look at Quran chapter 2 verse number 177, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is explaining some of the attributes, some of the features of a trustworthy person, among them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَالْمَوْفُونَ بِأَهَدِهِمْ إِذَا عَاهَدُوا. He sticks on his promise when he promises. For instance, before going to wars, you understand, people had to take oath that I'm going to this war, I will not run away. But some of them ended up running away. Some Sahabas, you understand, therefore, they were not in. Therefore, some of them were not trustworthy. You understand, my brother? Even here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, even here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala adds on and says, وَالصَّابِرِينَ فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ. You understand, being patient in distress and affliction, like during wars, like in the battle of Uhud, some Sahabas ended up leaving Prophet Muhammad. Therefore here is a big lesson to us. We must be trustworthy and still be with those people of trust. And those people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is commanding us to be with, you understand, the trustworthy, and none besides the Al-Bayt alayhim salatu wasalam. That's why we find him, when he's ending the verse, he says that وَالصَّابِرِينَ فِي الْبَأْسَاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ وَحِينَ الْبَأْسِ. You understand? At the end of the verse, he says, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقُونَ. You understand? Those are the people, the trustworthy, you understand, and the pious ones. Therefore here, we find none besides Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib, who is even given the title of Imam al-Muttaqin, you understand, or Sadiq al-Akbar, you understand. Therefore, it's a big lesson to us. What I want to say, we must be trustworthy as Prophet Muhammad was. Number 2, Prophet Muhammad and his wives. How did he act? What was his behavior during, in his marriage? What was his behavior in his marriage? Yes, in Quran chapter 4 verse number 3, there is a verse which says that you can get married to 2, 3 or 4, but in case you can do justice among them. In case you can't do, or you don't have the ability, in case you can't do justice, or you don't have the ability to sustain them, you understand, it's better you get married to one person. When Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam was with his wives, he was always just, you understand, he had justice. Therefore, it's a big lesson to us believers. And also, these respected moms, you understand, the wives of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam, they also supported Islam. Therefore, my respected sisters, in case you are Muslim, you have also to do what you can in order to propagate Islam, using all the possible means you have. Look at our respected mom, Khadija. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam says, "Laula malu Khadija wa Saif Ali ibn Abi Talib alayhi salatu wasalam lama qama al-Islam." Had it not have been the money of Khadija and the sword of Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib, Islam could not have stood. and strengthened. لولا مال خديجة وسيف علي لما قام الإسلام. Therefore, it's a lesson to us brothers and sisters. In case you're a sister, put in what you can and propagate Islam. Teach others, teach them Holy Quran. If you're a brother, do the same. Put in something, you understand? Teach others. Try your best to share these lectures. In the due process, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shall have mercy on us, as we saw in Surah Tawbah, verse number 71, when he's commanding us, you understand, to do al-amr bil ma'ruf wa nahy anil munkar, to command doing of good actions and prohibiting evil. He ends the verse by saying, Ulaika sayarhamuhumullah, those are the people whom I forgive. In case Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives you, He makes it rain, gives you pious offsprings, increases your sustenance, makes you enter paradise, and changes all your ugly actions into good actions, plus increasing your lifespan. You can cross-check Surah Hud, verse number 3, Surah Furqan, verse number 70, Surah Nuh, verse number 10 to 12. Those are some of the merits of guiding others. To go on still, we see Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wa alihi wasallam and children. How he mentored children. You understand? Look at his daughter Fatima to Zahra alayha salam. He trained her to be a strong woman. He's trained her, you understand, economically, politically, religiously. Look at after his death, the death of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, Fatima to Zahra supported her husband Amir al-Mu'minin read the sermon of Fadak, you understand, where we find some Sahabas taking away this garden and claiming that whatever prophet lives is given out as charity. You understand? This is what Khalifa Abu Bakr said. And we said his statement contradicts to the Holy Quran in Surah Naml, verse number 16, which says, Wawaritha, Sulaiman Dawood. You understand? Sulaiman succeeded the properties of his father, Dawood. Therefore, Fatima, what I want to say here, we must train our children, you understand, to love Islam. We must train them financially, politically. And even the ladies can engage into politics. There is no problem. You understand? Many things. There is also an authentic tradition that are adibu, awladakum ala thalath. We must train our children in 3 ways. Hubbi nabiyikum, wa hubbi ahl baytihi, wa ala qira'ati al-Quran. That we must mentor them in 3 ways. Loving their prophet, loving the household of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, plus Holy Quran. Because Holy Quran is shifa'un wa rahma, is mass and cure to each and everything, as we saw in Surah Al-Isra, verse number 82. And the pure lineage of Prophet Muhammad, loving and following them is mandatory, as we saw in Surah Shura, verse number 23. Loving Prophet Muhammad and following him is Rahmatul Alameen, as we saw in Surah Al-Anbiya, verse number 107. We have a lot of good personalities of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam. Look at Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam and his will. Some people say he never left a will. How could Prophet Muhammad teach, you understand, leaving a will, inheriting, and he does not do so? Can it make any sense? No, it can't make any sense, because we said he left a will before his death in a place called Gadil Khumi, after the revelation of Quranic chapter 5, verse number 67, which says, Ya ayyuhar rasul balligh ma unzila ilayka min rabbika, up to the end of the verse. O you prophet, reveal that which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed to you. And in that same place, he gathered all the people, because he was coming from his first and farewell pilgrimage in a place called Gadil Khummi. Some historians say he gathered around 70,000 people, others say 100,000 people plus. You understand? What I want here, he left his will, and in that same place he said, Inni tariku fikum thakalaini kitab Allah. I'm living among you 2 heavyweights, Holy Quran and my pure lineage. The pure lineage has been explained in same Sunni ink. For instance, in a book called Ikmaluddin and Yanabi ul Mawadda, they mention all of them. These are Sunni books. The 12 successors of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, from Imam Ali, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein, up to the 12th Imam, Imam Muhammad al-Mahdi, the Imam of our time. Therefore, Prophet Muhammad left a will. It could not make any sense. You understand? Prophet to teach people the 14 verses regarding inheritance, and for him, he does not leave any will. It can't make any sense, as we saw that always Prophet Muhammad is the first in, as we saw that always Prophet Muhammad is the first in each and everything in Surah Al-Ahzab, verse number 16. To go further still, we see Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Shia Islam. As we saw the book he came with, you understand, spoke about the term Shia, and he said that is a follower, as we say in Surah As-Safat, verse number 83. You understand? As we saw in Surah As-Safat, verse number 83, which says, Wa inna min shi'ati la Ibrahim. Really, among the followers of Nabi Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam was Prophet Ibrahim. Therefore, the book he came with still spoke about Shia, the term Shia. And here, as used today, is used to mean the followers of the will of Prophet Muhammad, which is Holy Quran and Ahl Bayt alayhim salatu wasalam. Actually, I found one tradition in our Sunni brothers' books in Fadha'il al-Sahaba, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, volume 2, page number 655. He says that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam says, Ya Aliyu wa shi'atuka humul faizun. O fil Jannah. O Ali, and your followers, you understand, are the successful ones, or are the people of paradise. Therefore, Prophet Muhammad spoke about the term Shia, and it's not new. Many things Prophet Muhammad had excellent behaviors, as we say in Surah Al-Qalam, verse number 3. Prophet Muhammad is mercy to the entire world. Therefore, we must also be mercy to others instead of being curses to them. In conclusion, we saw that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallama was born on the 17th of Rabi'ul Awwal in Amrfil calendar of the year when Abraha wanted to destroy Holy Kaaba, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroyed him and his army, as we saw that even Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala explained it in Surah Fil, or Quran chapter 105. We said that all the parents of Prophet Muhammad, like his father Abdullah, his mom Amina, and his uncle Abu Talib, plus his grandfather Abdul Muttalib, all of them were stronger believers. They have never been disbelievers as claimed by some people. We said this campaign that Prophet's parents were disbelievers was put in Islam by the enemies of Islam, the Banu Umayyads, in order to elevate their kingdom and lower Islam, plus the lineage of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallama, claiming that Abu Sufyan was a believer and Abu Talib is a person of hell fire. We also said that this same claim here, that Prophet's parents were infidels, is not true. For instance, when Imam Bukhari is commenting on Quran chapter 9, verse number 113, he said that it's about Abu Talib. Those people Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is refusing Prophet Muhammad to pray for them. We said no. This verse was revealed in the 9th year after Prophet's migration from Mecca to Medina. Yet Abu Talib passed away in Mecca and was buried in Mecca. We also said this same verse here is among those verses Prophet Muhammad gave to Khalif Abu Bakr first to take and read for those people of Mecca. And after he took, and after he sent Amir al-Mu'minin Ali ibn Abi Talib to go and take them away from Khalif Abu Bakr, say that Imam Ali is the one who goes to go and recite them to the people of Mecca. From there we said that also immediately Prophet Muhammad said, La yu'addi anni illa ana aw ahad min al-bayt alayhim salatu wasalam, that la yu'addi anni illa ana aw ahadi min ahl bayt alayhim salatu wasalam, that no one represents Prophet besides himself or a person from his pure lineage. From there we said that some of the good personalities of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallama was Sadiqul Amin, trustworthy. Therefore, we must also be trustworthy. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us in Surah Tawbah, verse number 119, to be with the trustworthy, the Al-Bayt alayhim salatu wasalam, because they are the people, you understand, who are strong, who don't run away from wars, who always stood with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala summarized the attributes of a trustworthy person in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse number 177. That's why we also see that Imam Ali is called Imam al-Muttaqin, the Imam of the pious, one who's all the leader of the pious, one who's and also Siddiq al-Akbar. You understand? The great trustworthy. Therefore, that title belongs to Ahl Bayt alayhi salatu wasalam, whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us to follow and love in Quran chapter 42, verse number 23. We also saw Prophet Muhammad and his wives. You understand? He was always establishing justice among them. Therefore, we must also emulate him, as we saw in Quran chapter 4, verse number 23. From there, we also say that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came with Holy Quran, which is cure and medicine to each and everything. In Surah Al-Isra, verse number 82, Shifa'un wa rahmatun lil mu'minin, is mercy and cure to believers. Therefore, you must be using it to ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to answer our prayers. In case you have any problem, for instance, you can recite Surah Yasin. You understand? Standing against enemies, you recite Ayatul Kurus, Surah Al-Ikhlas 3 times, Surah Al-Falaq 1 time, Surah Al-Nas, and Surah Al-Kafirun. You understand? After every prayer, compulsory prayer, when you're moving out from your house, and before sleeping, Quran is cure to each and every thing. Therefore, believers, we cannot exhaust the excellences of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I can only say one thing: Prophet Muhammad is mercy to the entire world. Therefore, you must be using him in order to reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Anbiya, verse number 107, that is mercy to the entire world. We must be interceding via him, as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commands us in Surah An-Nisa, verse number 64. We must not be arrogant like some of those people whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told to go to Prophet to intercede for them and refused, and Allah bashed them in Surah Al-Munafiqun, verse number 45 up to 60. Even Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam commanded us that adibu awladakum ala thalath, that we must mentor our children with 3 things: hubbi nabiyukum, loving Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is mercy to the entire world, as I told you in Surah Al-Anbiya, verse number 107, wa hubbi ahl baytihi, and also loving the pure lineage of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his successors, wa ala qira'atil Quran, and reciting Holy Quran, because we saw that Holy Quran is shifa'un wa rahmah. It is mercy and cure to each and everything. That's Prophet Muhammad in brief. I can't exhaust him. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept this little work from us all. Kindly keep sharing up to last person. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.